Next at 11, fallout from a deadly mass shooting downtown. Why Orlando leaders say a new curfew is just the first step.
Rain chances going up a little bit for your weekend. We're pinpointing the timeline next.
10 injured in a mass shooting in downtown Orlando. 2 people are dead. The mayor has declared a state of emergency.
Honestly, I am frustrated to have to stand in front of you all and again share the news that we have lost another due to gun violence.
Tonight, we're hearing from the victims.
He pulls out this hand motion like that very quickly. Boom! I just saw a light flash.
This is News 6 at 11. Thank you for joining us. I'm Matt Austin. Ginger Gadsden is on assignment. That state of emergency comes with a curfew covering downtown Orlando. Last calls at midnight, then for at least the next 7 nights, everybody has to clear out at 1 a.m. It's about 24 hours after the trouble started. Orlando police say at 1:07 this morning, you can clearly see that 17-year-old suspect seen here in a yellow shirt walking. He looks back, he raises his arm, and then he starts to shoot. That happened near Central Boulevard and Orange Avenue, with more shots fired and more people wounded just minutes later near Washington Street and Orange Avenue. The victims range in age from 19 to 39. Police actually saw that second shooting, and amid the chaos of the crowd trying to run, one officer actually tackles the teen to the ground and takes him into custody. They say he is 17-year-old Jalen Edgar. In the morning, he should go before a juvenile court judge. The charges will include 2 counts of first-degree murder and 6 counts of attempted murder. Prosecutors will probably want to try him as an adult. Orlando police think Edgar acted alone and just came downtown to cause some trouble on Halloween night. What they don't know is why. It's just one of the many questions people are asking tonight. We're going to begin with a big one. Can downtown Orlando feel safe again? For that, we're going to turn to News 6's Troy Campbell. He is live downtown where some leaders want to clamp down on where people come in and out of the nightclub district. So, Troy, already some business owners are not so happy about this.
Yeah, Matt, here downtown, we're just about 2 hours away from that curfew going into effect. You mentioned last call is already going to be at midnight. We spoke to a business owner who says it's simply not fair to make all the businesses suffer because of one person's actions.
Halloween is our Super Bowl. It is the biggest event in downtown Orlando by far. 10 times New Year's, 10 times any other event.
Thomas O'Toole is the owner of the Parking Operator LLC. He says he manages about a dozen parking lots in the downtown area.
The outrageousness of an order being issued at the last possible minute.
O'Toole says he strongly disagrees with the state of emergency issued for the downtown bar district by Mayor Buddy Dyer.
The impact is not only felt by it's felt by everybody. Everybody wants it to be safe. There's nobody who comes out here with the idea of not being safe. And for this individual to impact all these businesses, and to be honest with you, he was a minor. He wasn't at any one of these businesses. He had no business being down here.
Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer issued the state of emergency on Friday afternoon. It calls for alcohol sales to end at midnight and a curfew from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. It's expected to last 7 days. O'Toole says the rules will also affect workers downtown.
I can guarantee all their schedules were made. Everybody's coming into work. You know what I mean? They're not going to be able to work.
Orlando City Commissioner Shan Rose says a new security plan is coming soon, but cited hurdles with Florida's universal carry law.
So safety is a top priority, and constitutional rights does play back and forth, which is why at some point we did have to pull back with some of our programming because is it legally allowed, right? Because the state does allow you to carry your weapons.
Rose says after the shooting of 9 people, changes need to be made in the bar district, including the possibility of a single point entry.
It's not knee-jerk reaction, it's actually safety and the lives of individuals. And that's the message, right? That we are not doing knee-jerk reactions. What we are doing is ensuring that we protect everyone who is in downtown.
O'Toole says it simply isn't fair to target small businesses.
So every business in downtown Orlando is now impacted for a non-patron who pulled a gun. Basically, I would call him a terrorist.
So he's definitely fired up. And again, we're less than 2 hours away from the curfew going into effect. It will last until 5 a.m. Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer saying it will repeat nightly for at least 7 nights. Live in downtown Orlando tonight, Troy Campbell, Getting Results News 6.
All right, Troy, thank you. Well, one of the most extraordinary moments to unfold in the wake of the shootings was a news conference at ORMC with a doctor who cared for the wounded and a 20-year-old patient over here who was able to share his story, even make some jokes despite coming within just millimeters of death. News 6's Treasure Roberts has his story.
You did not think it's going to happen to you until it just does.
20-year-old Anthony Berry was fortunate enough to walk away from the hospital with just a few stitches in his head after he was shot overnight in downtown Orlando. Berry says he and his friends were walking around checking out all the cool Halloween costumes when he noticed the suspect, 17-year-old Jalen Edgar, pushing through the large crowd.
He started getting aggressive, verbally increasing his tone of voice.
Next thing you know,
he pulls out this hand motion like that very quickly.
That's when Berry ducked.
Boom! I just saw a light flash. Then I just feel like my head a little heated. Like that's what it felt like. The wind touched my scalp. Like, whoa, I got hair. I'm not bald yet.
The aspiring nurse immediately grabbed his shirt and held it to the wound to stop the bleeding. Dr. Joseph Ibrahim got the mass casualty call early Friday morning and came into Orlando Regional Medical Center to treat the wounded.
Of course you think, not again.
The doctor says Berry got lucky. Just a centimeter difference could have changed the outcome.
I mean, there's really not much protection there, just skin in the skull, and then that's it. And otherwise, it's a much different day for him.
Berry is thankful.
After it happened, the first thing I did was thank God I was still here. It means I have another opportunity to achieve my goals in life.
Even after experiencing a big scare, he continues to smile,
I'm so sorry.
laugh, and lead with positivity.
Just be positive, just love people, enjoy life. It could end instantly.
In Orlando, Treasure Roberts, Getting Results, News 6.
Wise advice for a young man. Well, the surveillance video released by police not only shows the chaos of that mass shooting, it also showcases the incredible police work that stopped the suspect. News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden walks us through the video.
Now, keep in mind, Orlando's police chief says there were between 50 and 100,000 people downtown to celebrate Halloween, just a huge crowd. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Pay attention to the red circle. This is the suspect wearing a yellow shirt, and as you can see, he is just casually walking downtown. Now pay attention to this blurred square. That's the victim. He walks past, turns around, and shoots him. Of course, the crowd scatters, and so does the suspect scatter after this happened. This all happened at Orange and Central right here. Police say the suspect then cut down Court Avenue and then cut through an alley and came back out on Orange Avenue. That's where the second shooting happened. Right on Orange Avenue, you can see the crowd scatters. Now pay attention to the back of the truck. The suspect goes back here. You can see the red circle. Then he gets tangled up in the crowd and trips and falls. He goes to pick up his shoe, and that's when the officer has time to go in. He goes hands-on and takes him down. And then the other officers run in to assist. Now, I'm going to show you the same thing, but I'm going to show it to you from a different perspective. Pay attention to this part of the screen. These officers see when the suspect opens fire. Watch this officer. He pulls his weapon out. He's looking around. He's looking for the suspect because he saw him open fire. He goes in, pauses for a minute, and then he locks in on the suspect. And this is where it's like you can see this officer's thought process. He knows he can't get this shot off without jeopardizing these people and jeopardizing these people. So he doesn't do it. Then he gets the opportunity to go in, and he goes in hands-on and takes that suspect down. Just amazing police work. Getting Results, I'm Lewis Bolden, News 6.
That is some incredible bravery right there. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest dug deep into the past of that 17-year-old suspect, learning he was also arrested last December for driving a stolen car. You'll find his investigation on clickorlando.com.
What do you say to this blatant disregard? Because the 17-year-old was within feet of officers and their vehicles.
So there's a lot of good people who come downtown, but there's a lot of bad actors.
So Ginger's not here tonight, but earlier she pressed Orlando's police chief and mayor on what can be done to stop mass shooters. Jonathan.
A couple of showers still out there. Temperatures made it back to the low to mid 80s today. Slightly higher chance for rain to start your weekend. We're going to pinpoint the best time and who has the best chance to get wet tomorrow in a few minutes.
Plus, Central Floridians are breaking records at the polls, the top counties for early voting, and how one county is helping you check wait times before you go. You're watching News 6 at 11. Live on a Friday night, we are getting results for Orlando, Altamont Springs, and all of Central Florida.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Rubenstein Law.
Across America with mega jackpots, it's Mega Millions.
What's up, America? I'm John Crow. It is Friday, November 1st, and tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is an estimated annuitized $281 million. To win that jackpot, you must match these 5 white balls plus that gold mega ball. Now, let's see if I can make you a millionaire tonight. Our first winning number tonight is 11, followed by 22. Up next, we have 51. Your next number is 46, and your final white ball number for this Friday evening is 42. Now for the mega ball number, that is 4. Again, tonight's winning numbers are 11, 22, 51, 46, 42, and the gold mega ball is 4. Now, if no matches all 6 numbers, Tuesday's jackpot could be $303 million. Good luck and play on, America.
As a trooper, I know how every crash is going to affect your commute. So watch me on News 6 Mornings.
I know how crucial it is to be ready for any type of weather. So whether the sun's shining or the storms are rolling in, I've got your back, pinpointing the weather down to the minute. I'm meteorologist Candace Campos. Let's tackle the day together, weekday mornings on News 6.
Developing tonight at 11, a tragic story just into our newsroom out of Sumter County. Deputies say an infant was found dead inside a car outside South Sumter Middle School. The 15-month-old was found dead around 4:15 this afternoon. It appears the child was left there accidentally all day outside the school on Northwest 10th Avenue in Webster. Deputies say the baby was supposed to be dropped off at a daycare, but it seems the family member forgot. We'll have more on this story as it comes in on clickorlando.com. Of course, our top story all day has been that Halloween night mass shooting that took 2 lives in downtown Orlando and wounded 8 others. Already, it has led to a curfew that starts at 1 in the morning for the downtown area. It runs until 5 a.m. for at least the next 7 nights. And a lot of you have questions about the suspect, the motive, and of course, what can be done to stop this from happening in the future. Well, Ginger spent the day in downtown Orlando, and late this afternoon, she pressed Orlando's police chief to answer some of your questions, starting with safety.
Chief, when many people go out, you look for a sense of security. When you see all of those police officers in one place, you tend to feel a little safer. What do you say to this blatant disregard? Because the 17-year-old was within feet of officers and their vehicles.
So there's a lot of good people who come downtown, but there's a lot of bad actors. Some people just don't care. Whatever their beef is, their issue with somebody, they're going to shoot no matter what. They're going to walk by the officers. In this one, we were able to basically follow his path and see him walk by more than 10 officers, paid them no attention, obviously saw them because he walked right next to them, but still went and did what he was going to do.
So what do these measures do if someone is intent on carrying out something like that?
So our job is to try and prevent it. We're going to have a lot of officers there. We do a lot of proactive work, like our TAC units, our bike units. They're riding the parking garages. They're talking to people about their cars. We're doing traffic stops. We're very proactive. And one thing I will say, the last major shooting was probably 2 years ago. And if you're going to have that many people downtown and there's no way of checking people for weapons, checking people for what their intent is, every once in a while you're going to have these kind of issues. But as the mayor said, the city's taking steps to prevent this.
One of the things that has made it more difficult for us is the change in the concealed weapon law. Now anybody can carry a gun, and we can't screen and take a gun away from somebody unless we know they're a felon or there's some other reason that they can't carry it. But people are carrying more guns pretty much everywhere. It's not just downtown. People can carry guns everywhere.
Now, the mayor brought up what started all the security changes. In 2021, a 34-year-old Army vet was killed in a shooting on North Orange Avenue. Of course, there have been several other major shootings since that time. As News 6's Troy Campbell told us earlier in the newscast, the city of Orlando is considering a massive new security measure. District 5 Commissioner Shan Rose tells News 6 the city could allow only 1 point for everyone to go in and out. Those people would be scanned for weapons and their IDs checked. News 6 investigator Eric Sandoval spoke with Rose. You can see his interview with her, and we'll keep you updated on the investigation on our website here on News 6 and clickorlando.com. Another big story tonight, a record number of you making your voices heard in Results 2024. We've been telling you the heavy turnout, and yes, long lines like this at the polling place near UCF. You can see lines out the door, and in some cases, people are waiting 2 hours to get their vote in. And just into our newsroom, Central Floridians crossing yet another early voting milestone. As of 9:30 tonight, more than 50% of voters have already cast ballots in our 9 local counties. Sumter County already has a 70% turnout. In total, more than 1.75 million Central Floridians have voted early in person or by mail. To beat the long lines, Orange County says you can actually check wait times on their website.
Between vote by mail and also early voting, we've had over 350,000 people already cast their vote. This is a historic election. They want their voice to be heard.
Keep in mind, early voting is almost over. You have until tomorrow night at 8 in most counties. A few of the counties like Orange and Osceola also holding early voting on Sunday. If you haven't sent back your mail-in ballot, you can take that to an early voting location this weekend or take it to the polling place on Tuesday. For an in-depth look at all things election, we have you covered. News 6 anchor Justin Warmoth is hosting an hour-long Results 2024 election special on Sunday and Monday at 3 p.m. You can also see that streaming special anytime on our free News 6 Plus Smart TV app. And it's your weekend. I know you're curious as to how that weather is shaping up and whatever's going on in the tropics. My man, Jonathan Kagas, has you covered.
Yeah, guys, nice and quiet this morning, or this evening, I should say. Getting into tomorrow morning, we should be on the quieter side as well. Radar scanning our skies, just finding a few stray showers, mainly in interior Brevard County. These are light, much lighter than even the ones that we were pinpointing at about 6:30 tonight. Otherwise, again, we are nice and dry, nice and warm. 75 degrees right now under a mainly cloudy sky. The breeze has backed off a bit in downtown Orlando. We're back to the east-northeast at about 5 miles an hour. That is a live look with our light Orlando delivering Hope Sky Cam tonight, as we do have mostly cloudy skies that will keep us on the warmer side tonight, and then again on the cooler side, relatively speaking, tomorrow. 75 in Orlando right now, 73 in Claremont. We're at 73 in Holopah. Good evening in Mico. We're at 73. Mims into Titusville. We're also checking out into the mid-70s. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency? You ought to call Strata.
Temperatures tomorrow, again, relatively speaking, we're talking lower 80s instead of the middle 80s like where we were today. We're at 82 in New Smyrna Beach, 82 in Palm Coast, Dupanel, Denellen. We'll be on the warmer side because we'll be on the drier side, so temperatures closer to the 75 corridor tomorrow, getting back into the middle 80s. Time change happens this weekend. We're back to the mid-80s through Monday, Election Day. Looking pretty good, guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Here are tonight's winning Florida lottery numbers. We have pick 2, 19, pick 3, 959, pick 4, 0250, pick 5, 08459, and that fireball is 4. Jackpot triple play is 14, 41, 6, 42, 4, and 9. And Fantasy 5 is 10, 27, 28, 29, 19. Cash for Life is 1, 11, 21, 35, 49. And the cash ball is 3. Good luck. Sports Director Jamie Say is here. Jamie, not the playoff rematch, the Magic we're really hoping.
No, they took on the Cavaliers tonight, the team they met in the playoffs last spring, and obviously
they're down.
When you don't have Paolo Banchero, that makes a big difference. Those highlights from Cleveland are on the way, plus lots of high school football and drama in the MLS playoffs tonight. Orlando City and Charlotte go to penalty kicks. All the highlights coming up next.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Freedom Health Medicare Advantage Plans.
I gotta get things started.
Get things started with News 6 Mornings. You gotta watch before you go. Trooper Steve on Patrol is sponsored by Gibson Truck World. We are the king of trucks.
Life without Paolo Banchero began tonight in Cleveland for the Magic. They hit the floor against the Cavaliers, the team they went 7 games with in the playoffs last spring. I've got to take a timeout, but coming up, high school football under the Friday night lights.
Breaking news, traffic. When you need to know what's going on in your neighborhood, trust Sky 6 to get the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
It is week 11 of the high school football season. Only one more week to go in the regular season. Rivalries took center stage tonight under the Friday night lights. Always good to hear from that Hall of Famer, right? News 6 is going to have the UCF-Arizona game covered tomorrow night on After the Whistle. And I'm going to be in Jacksonville for Florida, Georgia. So check out a full recap of the Knights, the Gators, the Noles, Canes, all that stuff on After the Whistle tomorrow at 11:35.
You can skip my Knowles highlights. There probably won't be many.
You never know.
It's been a rough season.
You never know.
Good seeing Shaquem Griffin,
Oh, awesome.
though.
Hall of Fame.
Always good for a soundbite. Way
Hall
to
of
go.
Famer. Yep.
Gold jacket for the guy. You can find all the Tonight stories plus breaking